just want to start out. This is very hard. It's the first time that something happened like this to me. But I just want to say that we are all strong. The community is strong, and we will all get through this. I lost 2 of my dear friends in the shooting, and being in here, I could not go to any vigils. They took everything away as if they were trying to take my life as well. We had a safe space that we could all gather in, that we felt comfortable, and we always went back. Unfortunately, or luckily, Jeremy was not with me that night, or who knows what the situation would have been. But we're glad that I am here, and I want to send my apologies out and my sympathy to Derek and Daniel's family, and also to all of my friends that I consider family that have been affected by this in one way or another. And I don't know what else to really say. Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I am sore. I took quite a few shots in different areas. I won't go into the details of exactly where, but the hospital has been amazing. I will stay making sure that I'm comfortable and not in a lot of pain.
Were you aware what was going on with this voting? I mean, what was your thought process as this was all happening to you?
I had no clue that any of it was happening until I noticed certain events unfold there. I was up by the front of the building, so I pretty much heard it first, along with everybody else that was up by the door. And after that, I don't know what happened. I don't know anything, because I just hid.
Would you clarify, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Did you say you were hit several times by gunfire? Is that what you said?
Right now, it's just small, like shrapnel, is what they found.
Who were you with at the club that night?
I was with myself. I just went, and then while I was there, I met 2 people that were also victims.
Can you describe what was going on, the last things you remember before that moment ended?
Everybody was having fun. Music was playing, everybody's talking and laughing, just like always.
Can you share what it's like being a safe haven, having Club Q here in Colorado Springs?
It was nice. That has always been one of my mom's biggest worries and concerns, is going out and being gay and not having somewhere to go. But when I was welcomed into Q by a bunch of people, I knew I had a home. I had a safe place, and they made sure that everybody knew that it was a safe place.
What do you expect the mental recovery of trying to reclaim that safe space to be like?
Honestly, I can't imagine. Because for me personally, I will be uncomfortable going anywhere for a long time. which, is it fair? Yes. Is it, or is it not? But for my mentality, I don't feel comfortable, I don't feel safe being around or with strangers anymore.
Can I ask you, how long you've lived in Colorado Springs?
I've lived in Colorado 18 years, and I've been down in the Springs for like 5.5.
I spent my day talking to folks who have spent about 20 or 30 years here, and what I'm hearing is that, when folks say they arrived in the 80s, for instance, or the 90s, that they knew when they arrived here that they shouldn't talk about sort of their identity. But that today, things are markedly different, and this is, it feels like a pretty welcoming place. And I'm curious if that squares with you, and if this event changes the way you view that at all.
It does. We live in a smaller town as well, and we were both very uncomfortable moving down here. And when we did, we started meeting people, and everybody was like, you are who you are, who cares? And then that mentality kind of starts going on, like you are who you are, when your friends or people that you just meet don't care.
Did you get a good look at the shooter, and have you ever seen it before? That you know?
I'm probably the only one that hasn't watched any news. I haven't Googled anything. I've not looked any of it up at all.
What would you like to happen to the person accused of the shooting?
That, I don't know. As long as he gets the justice he deserves, is all.
If you could say anything to the shooter, what would it be?
I would probably say, why don't you meet somebody and get to know their true heart before passing judgment? Because he really did harm a lot of pure, true hearts that I don't know if they'll be the same.
Did you say that you knew 2 of the people who died?
Yes, I knew 2 of them.
Did you say which 2 of them?
I knew Derek and Daniel.
You said you were hit by shrapnel.
Yes.
Can you share with us where you got hit, or how many times you got hit, how many places you got hit?
Just in my rear end and my arm. That's it.
Is there anything like you'd like to say to the individuals that helped take down this suspect at
They're,
the time?
yeah, they're my hero. You guys that took him out are my hero. And I know I've been at the club a time or two, one of them because I just saw his picture today. And just thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Have you ever seen the suspect at the club?
I don't even know who he was or never saw him inside that night.
Did you attempt to hide? You mentioned you may have blacked out when the shooting happened. Do you know where you landed, or where you ran, or where you
I just went up in a corner, just out of the way, because I didn't want to be out in the middle of the floor. So,
Would you please, I'm sorry, would you please clarify that? You said you ran and hid in a corner, is that what you said?
I didn't run. I kind of crawled against the wall in a corner.
Did you see the people subdue the gunman?
No,
No.
no.
What did you hear when you were hiding?
When I was hiding, I heard nothing. It was all quiet so I don't know how quick or where they took the gunman down, because nonetheless, I had just panic, fear. I wasn't trying to pay attention to anything going around me, just trying to focus on me.
Anthony, you said you heard it, you said that you were in the front, you heard it. What did you hear? Can you describe that for us?
I just heard the gunshots. And I don't recall how many or anything else, but there was the gunshots going off, and then I ended up falling.
this has happened around the country dozens of times in the last couple of years. Have you ever thought before about how you would react to something like this happen? Have you ever felt like you could possibly in a situation as an
No.
active shooter?
I never imagined anything like this. Because I've had a lot of, I guess, hope and pride in Club Q. That was my family, and that's what they have always stated, that this is your home, this is your safe haven, safe space. So that was the least of my worries and concerns.
Why were you willing to come and talk to us today and share your story?
To get the love out there, just to show that we are united, we are, no matter here or not, that we're here, and we are who we are. We all have hearts. We all love and care, just like every other one of you. And we're one person's child, just like your person's child, like your child could have been there, or could have been around. We're just spreading the love, is all I'm saying. We may be hurt, broken and down right now, but we will be strong again.
Do you have a sense of how close, the closest you were to the gunman? And did you get a good look at him at any point?
I got no looks at him.
How close were you?
I was probably from me to you, maybe 20 foot or so. But I wasn't expecting to be looking around or trying to find somebody.
And how old are you?
I'm in my early 40s.
Did the suspect say anything at all? Did you hear him talking or saying anything at all?
I didn't hear any talking at all. I just heard a few screams and that was it.
Any words that you heard among the screams?
No, and it wasn't until later, after the officers got there, that I heard he's over here, and that was it.
Any words for the first responders that came to you and aided you and felt
Just
hope?
so much thanks to them as well. I know they were there extremely quick, and they started getting everybody out extremely quick as well, and taken to where they needed to go. And huge thanks. That's all I've been thanking hospital staff as well as first responders that we've been talking with.
Were you
Thank
able to get out of the club on your own, or were you carried on the stretcher? How did that happen?
I was walked out. I wasn't able to walk on my own.
Were you awake and conscious during your transport to the hospital?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have any idea when you'll be going home?
They say maybe Thursday, but they're not exactly sure yet.
Thanksgiving.
Yep. That's been my whole goal, is to try to get home for Thanksgiving.
Have you required any kind of surgery for your treatment, or?
No surgeries or anything like that.
What would you say to some of, there's been a lot of talk about anti-gay rhetoric and how the rhetoric that we hear in the country now leads to shootings like this. How would you respond to someone who talks about gay rhetoric?
I would honestly, I say it's all like the negativity, and it's sad that it gets to someone's head like that, and it pushes them to where they want to feel like they need to take it out on somebody, and they just choose one race, one gender, one type stereotype, I guess you would say, to go after.
May we ask Jeremy a couple of questions, or is that
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah,
Jeremy?
you may.
How are you feeling in all of this?
I'm still trying to take it in. A lot of it is just really focusing on Anthony and getting him better.
Jeremy, where were you that night?
I was at home.
At home.
Yep.
What went through your head when you got the phone call?
The initial thoughts was I just need to get to him. He needs to be okay.
How long haven't you been married?
We've been together 14 years.
Jeremy, what have been your thoughts about the potential of this kind of violence happening at a club like that?
I mean, it happened in Florida, you know, it happened at Pulse. It's not something you think about. It's not something you go about your daily life having to worry about. And so now that has completely shifted that aspect. Even going from the hospital to the gas station, looking at cars, looking at buildings, stopping in a gas station, it changes your perspective. And even though I wasn't there, it changes your reality.
Does that mean you don't go there, you don't go to bars, clubs like that anymore?
No.
That's it?
No, I will not. Yeah, I wouldn't feel safe doing so.
Do you guys feel like you can be safe in Colorado Springs again after this?
It's a 50-50 for me. And it's pretty much everywhere. I have never really felt 100% safe and comfortable. You know, even just walking down the street holding hands. Or, you know, you just show one little kiss or something, and then all of a sudden you're getting ridiculed. You're getting from everybody. So it just doesn't, it's horrible the way that a lot of people think.
Are you saying that happens here when you show your affection in public?
Yes.
And what would you tell somebody who's younger, 18, 19, 20, 21, about whether, you know, this is a community that they should want to stay in?
For me, I would say the most important thing about all of this and all the hatred in the world is standing together, standing united and fighting for what you believe in. If you love somebody, you have the right to hold their hand. You have the right to kiss them in public if you want to. And so I think the more we do that as individuals and we recognize that we're all human beings and we all stand together, that's really where the focus should be, and less on who it's with.
Can I just one technical question? I understand that you said you don't want to be identified by your last names, but is there a reason, considering that your face is going to be all over television?
Just confidentiality for the most part. I know our faces are gonna be out, but we just wanted to keep our last name private.
You mind just spelling your first names? Can you get it right?
Yeah, Anthony.
My name is Jeremy.
And despite all that's been happening since Sunday, what's it like being in each other's arms right now?
It's
a blessing.
Even when I got here on Sunday morning, Saturday night, and as I got to the hospital, I was coming in and he was standing there. And it was one of those, as I was laying there in the club, I didn't know if I'd ever get to hug him again. I didn't know how extensive my wounds were. I didn't know what had happened to me. And all I did is I called him and told him there was a shooting. I've been involved. I'm okay. And I went to the hospital and he was there. And of course, gave him a hug, and you know, it's just, you have to count your blessings every day.
How'd you guys meet?
Up in Denver at a bar. He up at Charlie's in Denver. And he worked there and I just used to go all the time, and then we started talking, and after that, started dating, and that was it.
Did you feel like Denver was more tolerant than Colorado Springs is? Can you talk about that?
I felt a lot more comfortable up in Denver simply because I know that their tolerance, I guess you would call it, is a lot higher. Their acceptance rate is a lot higher up there, as opposed to down here. Everybody feels a little more closed-minded, and we've experienced a few times out by where we live, and they don't accept it at all. So it's just one of those, you can't judge a book by its label or its cover. You have to know what's inside. Just talk to somebody and find out their true self before you start jumping to judgments.
After what you just said, does that make you think about leaving Colorado Springs?
Not at this time, it doesn't.
Not due to this situation, no.
No, not due to this.
What brought you to Colorado Springs? Was it just you wanted to live here with a job?
He's originally from here, and I just came out for a change. Something different.
More
Okay, I'm gonna take a moment and we're
Yeah.
gonna wrap this up because these guys have given you a lot of time and we wanna make sure he has time to rest still, get back to his room, so thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.